talking about the larger picture, of course, but isn't it trickling down to other parts? So, to the state governments, for example, I would just talk about one, but I think we have many examples. So, Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab. Media persons' Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts are banned for some time because they don't fit the narrative of the government, or they have tweeted something that doesn't fit the government's narrative. And then there are other, many examples of that happening in Punjab, and we see RTIs, how the government is trying to control the narrative. You know it, I know it, I think many people know it here through advertisements and all sorts of things, and I've seen that happening. So shouldn't we talk about that also, because it's easier to promise freebies and get the votes, and probably they'll win an election again on the free electricity and all of that, but nothing has changed on the ground.
I think the question really is that
and the entire thing was hidden by the government. This journalist was hauled up and spent 2 years behind bars. He was only released after he had COVID, and it took him 2 years, but we saw nothing from the media. The media didn't say anything. And Dr. Tharoor, my question to you is, are we looking at a majoritarian constitution? That's all.
Well, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I opposed the UAPA when it was introduced on Lok Sabha, and I warned precisely of this. That it was too easy now for the government to label anybody a suspected terrorist and deny them their constitutional rights, including bail. And of course, I was shouted down by the BJP majority, but it's on record. And as far as Kappan is concerned, I raised this case repeatedly, not only in social media. I spoke to his wife, and indeed, he was very briefly released once to attend to his ailing mother, who then passed away. And then he finally, as you say, got bail after more than 2 years in prison. And there's something very, very nasty about UAPA and the way it's applied. It was sold to the nation as something directed against terrorists. And so far it's been applied to everyone from journalists to student protesters. I'm not aware of a single genuinely suspected terrorist, somebody who can kill or somebody who was attempting to kill, who has fallen afoul of UAPA, but lots of dissidents have. On the majoritarian constitution, it's ironic. I mean, my penultimate book, not the one that just came out, but the one that came out the previous year, was on Ambedkar. And he specifically said that we have to understand democracy is not just about the rule of the majority, that the majority has to take the minority into account. And he said that's particularly important in a political majority. But he says right now what's even more worrying is we have a communal majority. And the communal majority has to be that much more respectful of the interests of minorities. Ambedkar said this 70 years ago, almost 75 years ago in the Constituent Assembly. And he had a very, very clear sense of how easily these institutions and majorities could be distorted. And yes, indeed, it's our duty to resist. That's happening right now. Not just the drift, the very firm direction towards majoritarianism, and in a very triumphalist way too.